I don't know what happened, but somehow I got like super duper obsessed with the song for like months. They keep pumping it out, man. I guess that's.
You just stumbled into this at some point and then just
I have no clue how I found this band or song. Not a clue.
That W drove some high school boys fucking wild back in the day.
If they were in high school, we would have been going to all their parties, all their shows.
Oh, for sure.
Trying to hit on them and shit, you know? Like,
So, Kittie, Into the Darkness. What the fuck?
yeah, but I mean, now that we're here, I'm not on my own computer, like having my research in front of me. But what I do know is our cousins went to high school with them.
Really?
Yeah, in London, Ontario. I didn't know this. Like, I didn't know this until like a couple of years ago. But for some reason, somewhere along the lines, back in high school, I stumbled onto. I'm not even sure if it was them in general or this song. I have no idea how I came across this song. Not a clue. All I know is that my first year in university,
It must have been them, right?
No, I've never talked to anyone about music.
About this?
About
anything?
No one's ever influenced by metal other than like Jake.
Yeah.
So, anyways, like for some reason in my first year out in university, living on my own and stuff, I don't know what happened, but somehow I got like super duper obsessed with the song for like months. I don't know. You ever had like one-off songs out of nowhere that just I can't explain it.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Maybe nobody else on the planet likes this song.
Those are rough too. When like part of you almost feels like the song isn't that great, but you can't really because you can't really explain why.
I think this might be it. I don't know, but I was literally blasting it for like my first year of university basically, and then when it comes on now, I let it play.
How old is it?
I don't really see. 2004. Yeah, so it would have been like 2011, 2012-ish that I was jamming it in university. So, like, I was obsessed with it. And for me, it's one of those songs that actually, like, brings me back to a time. Because I was so obsessed with it in that little window. Mm-hmm. When I hear it, it brings me back to those moments. And that's actually when I met Nora. Right? So it kind of reminds me of, like, my first interactions with Nora and stuff. Yeah. Anyways, Into the Darkness,
so
Kittie.
What exactly is it though? Like so it's a band, all female band.
It's all female, from London, Ontario, and
That's amazing that they didn't.
And they're still going too.
They're still going.
So maybe this is like a women's thing, but they keep going. They keep pumping it out, man. I guess that's a woman's thing. That's what she said. That's what she. Whoops.
Oh God. Yeah.
This is derailing fast. We should never done this.
Should have done.
I'm not mature enough for this.
Yeah.
They're still going. It's a relationship too. So, and actually, they've gone.
How? Did they get big?
But so way back here though, like this is old Kittie, obviously.
Okay.
It's heavy. It's heavy. It's real heavy.
Nice.
They go ham.
Okay.
Newer Kittie is as they all do, they become
softer,
but also like just doing more and more
progressive and stuff.
Right, sure. Yeah. I actually like listening to their newer stuff in the last week, just preparing for this. Was I think I might try and again. Nora hates metal, but when she heard that we were doing this, and she started like asking some questions because now you do women metal. Wow, she never thought about it, right? So I think modern Kittie might be a way in. Mm-hmm. So for anyone out there who's interested in getting your wife or over into metal,
the girls in.
Modern Kittie might be the way in.
And but the modern one's more like on a progressive side, though.
Both,
right?
yeah, they do both, but they have more like the softer female.
What?
And it's cool because it's full female, right?
Yeah.
It's a full female band.
So they've been going for 20 years at least.
Oh yeah. They were, they toured with Slipknot.
Really?
Yes, way back then, like just after high school. They actually blew up back then, and they were all over the charts and yada yada.
Wow.
And again, I never followed the trajectory at all. I just listened to this song. I didn't.
Yeah.
But they toured with Slipknot.
So
they got really big.
They must have been on like Much Music then back then.
Yeah,
right?
they were everywhere back then.
I was literally gonna say I would be surprised if they weren't, like for being an all female
metal band.
Yeah. Back in those days.
And good.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Absolutely. You just stumbled into this at some point and then just
I have no clue how I found this band or song. Not a clue.
All right.
Yeah, listen.
All right. So Into the Darkness, Kittie.
What do you think?
It's pretty legit. I mean,
Does that sound familiar to you?
yeah, definitely. I've
Yeah,
definitely
so
heard you
I
play
played it
before.
enough. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But there's definitely some like that definitely drove some high school boys fucking wild back in the day. Like
That was probably what got me
2004?
hooked, dude. Are you kidding me? Yeah.
Back in those days, there was definitely like some goth, like misfit type dudes that were just so into it.
Oh, for sure.
But yeah, I mean, legit. Definitely like. I was kind of thinking like it's almost like really before its time, almost in a lot of ways.
For sure.
Like I was kind of thinking like I guess it's almost like a no-brainer that they would have blown up even then. I can kind of feel like with like the video and then like the setup that they did there, it's like clearly they're like
it's much music.
yeah, but like they're kind of marketing the fact that they're like an all-female band, but in kind of a weird 2004 sex sells kind of way. You know what I mean? Like not as bad as it was like ultimately compared to like the pop stars and stuff like that, but like I feel like if they had done that like later, like 10, 15 years later, I think it could have been way. First of all, it would have been like better audio and like done better, but like also like more interesting, more like something to it. You know what I mean? Like more like less about like the
just them standing around playing.
Yeah, like but
Sure.
more about the music than like anything else, right? Less about like the gothy like high school angsty shit, maybe.
But that's what was up.
It's true.
That's what was
That's
up,
true.
man.
Yeah.
Like those chicks were cool as fuck.
Yeah. I'm not saying they
You
weren't.
know, like if they were in high school, we would have been going to all their parties, all their shows.
Oh, for sure.
Trying to hit on them and shit. You know, like,
Yeah.
like,
Yeah.
I don't know. There's. I think that's good stuff, man. Like, it's catchy. I don't know what it is about that song. I think it's a. Dun, 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 dun,
Yeah.
dun. That's what gets me. I think, and then like, again,
The vocals are pretty good.
vocals are solid.
Yeah.
Man. This is way back. Like that easily rivals Arcade. And actually, I think her screaming. I'm actually not sure if this. I think there's two. I think they're both.
Yeah.
Maybe she's singing and another one's Susan screaming. I'm not really sure.
Sure.
But the screaming, this screaming is more like typical male screaming.
Yeah.
Whereas Arch Enemy screaming is more of like a gargoyle
Yeah,
high thing.
high pitch. Yeah.
This is more like you. If I didn't tell you, if you just didn't know, you might think it's just a dude.
Like you might think dudes mixed in there. Yeah, you wouldn't know it was an all-female band otherwise.
No, hell no.
Yeah.
Yeah, they killed it. And obviously they did blow up the time. They toured with Slipknot and they killed it and they're all over the place. I'm not sure.
Is there anything else that like ever caught on after that for you?
For me, no.
Yeah.
Nothing. But like, so I don't even think this song, nobody cared about this song.
So you
With them.
right.
Again, I don't know how I found this song, how it got cut. But
people like
they had
the
a
other
song called
ones?
Spit, which was like their biggest song.
That
whatever,
sounds familiar.
That went like super viral, whatever, back then. How much music?
Sounds like
Put your kids on the table. We saw them at quite confident. This song's familiar. It's striking the nerves. It's ringing a bell.
You gotta be okay. Look at your face, scarred in dismay. But times have changed, and so have you. I think I'd rather crucify than
It's like Spice Girls.
take you down.
Oh yeah, man. Let's go.
And shoot deep inside my life, my inner workings. So smell and lack of inner pride to touch upon the surface is not for what it seems.
You're a kid in
I
high
take
school,
away my
well.
problems, but only
The hottest thing on the planet you've ever seen. This is my down.
Not bad at all, man. Oh, yeah.
So 90. Anyways, that's Kittie.
That's I mean, damn.
They tour with Slipknot. They must have been bigger than that. Local
And
London, Ontario. So the interesting thing when I was doing my research, yeah. So it ended up being the one girl. Yeah, it was the one girl. The on the drums, this Mercedes Lander, and this Fallon Bowman. They're the ones who originated it in London, Ontario.
Okay.
And according to my research, I guess this doesn't show it on Wikipedia, but the Morgan Lander is the younger sister of Mercedes Lander, the drummer.
Okay.
And they brought her in. Obviously, I guess they were doing stuff before Wikipedia can pick up on.
Right.
And it was when they brought in Morgan Lander that she went on the vocals and rhythm guitar and stuff, and she became like the face of the band. And like, she wasn't even the original member, but the Mercedes, the drummer, brought her younger sister in, and she just came in and just blew the whole thing up because she was so awesome.
So you heard, is that what you, like from our cousins or something like that? Like just like locals?
No, I was just doing like I was just googling it like in the last week praying for this, and that was yeah,
Interesting.
yeah. So they brought her in and she blew it up, and they're still going. So it's still
So it's like a sister. It is kind of like a sister's band though, right? Like it's just a couple of sisters just running it.
Yeah, Morgan Lander on the lead singer, rhythm guitar, and piano too. She's obviously seriously talented. Do they have newer stuff? I thought they did.
Yeah, and they definitely won awards, eh? So they have some like Juno awards out of it.
So they definitely don't have new stuff. Interesting.
Discography.
Oh, Fire. There we go.
There you
Fire. Go. Yeah, so there is new stuff.
But they came back. Right? They disappeared for a while.
They took a 13-year break. Yeah. So I wonder if we can find some of the new stuff.
We can look that up.
All right.
Oh, they're on Sumerian.
Let's play it.
Fucking sweet.
This is what I was watching. Robert Kittie.
It would be Sumerian that would pick them up.
They know what's up.
Yeah.
I would bet that because they've like came back and under Sumerian whatever, and this is like the main song with the music video and everything, they probably overproduced this one to be like the generic song.
Yeah.
I bet if we go into more of the newer album, it's probably good.
I mean, we're checking it. There's a couple things about that. Like, so yeah, I mean, it is a little generic. Like, I don't know if that's just them like warming up.
They're going for that for the main song of the album to be radio friendly and
probably.
Stuff, right?
Like I was gonna say like that's less original than their stuff from back in the day. You know what I mean?
Because it's being produced now.
Yeah.
Whereas they were just jamming, right?
Yeah, I guess so. For being metal people, those girls are aging like fine wine, man. like, that's a pretty rare thing.
Oh, yeah.
They look pretty goddamn good for like 20 years later.
Oh, yeah.
Damn, they dodged some bullets there somehow. Just stayed out of the
Not like the AC/DC guys and stuff.
Yeah, everybody else is everyone else in that kind of scene is usually just like pumped full of drugs and looks like leather and shit. Yeah, that looked really fucking good for how long they've been in it. But yeah, it's interesting. I mean, yeah, they're definitely going for like something.
But again, if you went deeper into this album, I'm sure we're gonna find a banger there.
Yeah, it's definitely worth
because it sounds nice and refined.
Yeah,
you know, like they've obviously got the talent,
and obviously like they're not steering away from the metal aspect of it either.
Oh, that was heavy. The one I watched a different one earlier in the week that was new to me, and it was much on the softer end, which is what I plan to show Nora at some point.
Okay,
this is the one I think I can maybe get Nora into. That's better than that song for sure.
Yeah, it's nice. Yeah, and it looks like they have some other stuff going on too. So
Yeah.
worth checking out for sure. All female band can't hang on it.
Can't even name another all female band, metal band, can you?
Yeah, it's really hard. Yeah,
So kudos to them.
yeah,
Good
absolutely.
shit.
And they've been going for a long ass time.
Took
Like,
a break, obviously. Whatever they did in the break. If you're a metal band like that, like a bunch of chicks are in a metal band in high school, whatever, and then you would tour Slipknot, and then all of a sudden for 10 years you just
What are the odds one of them doesn't have a kid in that span of time?
true. But
Like, they probably had kids or something.
imagine you get a job, one of them, and just like in a resume is like tour with Slipknot. It's like, pardon me?
Yeah. Yeah. I think like the smaller bands, even like for them like having blown up a little bit, I wouldn't be surprised that a lot of them just end up doing other things, like especially like with the pandemic happening. It's like a lot of bands like that did end up having to go back and do jobs. So
I'm sure there's a whole story on them. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, worth getting into. Like it'd be cool to see like a documentary, like those kind of bands. You know, like a band that's been around for that long and changed that much. It would be really cool to see if there was like some sort of like documentary thing about it.
Yeah.
It'd be really interesting.
Well, the point is also we know the struggle of getting like your girlfriend or wife into metal.
Yeah.
And you know,
yeah,
to me, there's no better way. Like I think that song is a good song.
that's actually a good point too. I even wonder what the split for their crowd would have been. Like there probably would have been more females than usual, probably, but still probably pretty male dominant, I would think.
That'd be interesting. Yeah.
It'd be interesting to see, yeah, what their
Yeah, if you're a single
demographics are
metal
like.
dude, that's the concert you go to. I
Definitely.
guess.
Yeah. All right, so there's Kittie in the books. Hey everybody, thanks for watching. Even more female related content coming up next for all the female fans that we still don't have, probably. Anyway, the Darling Fire. Probably don't know who these people are. Super underrated. Kind of nice. They're coming up next. Stay tuned.